Good morning, friends. It's Bob again, bringing you another reflection on the passion narrative of Jesus because we're in Holy Week right now, and there's just a lot of things to reflect on in terms of zeroing in on the price that was paid to rescue us. Now, during this time, I want to encourage you to focus on Jesus, not so much what you get, but to focus on Jesus. It's I think really important. It's so easy in American Christianity to sort of focus on the benefits package, focus on Jesus did this for me. But what I want to ask you to do is to focus on Jesus did this. Jesus did this because of who he is, that we focus on him, and that in doing that, we get to know him better. We get to know his love better. And yes, we are the primary beneficiaries, if you will, but it's more than that, that we're focusing on him. We're worshiping him. We're focusing on what he has done and the enormity of the cost. And today, I want to just talk with you just a few moments about this next thing that ends up, this sequence of events that ends up happening. And I'm going to start reading from Matthew chapter 27 at verse 15, but we're going to focus on primarily not Barabbas and the crowd looking for that, but what the soldiers actually do to Jesus. It says, "Now it was the governor's custom at the festival to release a prisoner chosen by the crowd. And at the time, there was a well-known prisoner whose name was Barabbas. And when the crowd had gathered, Pilate asked them, 'Which one do you want me to release to you, Jesus, Barabbas, or Jesus who is called the Messiah?' And he knew it was out of self-interest that they had handed Jesus over to him. Now, while Pilate was sitting there at the judgment seat, his wife sent him a message: 'Don't have anything to do with that innocent man, for I have suffered a great deal today in a dream because of him.'" Wow. Um, But the chief priests and the elders persuaded the crowd to ask for Barabbas and to have Jesus executed. Which of the two do you want me to release to you?" asked the governor. "Barabbas," they answered. "What shall I do then to Jesus who is called the Messiah?" Pilate asked. And they said, "Crucify him, crucify him." "Why? What crime has he committed?" asked Pilate. But they shouted all the louder, "Crucify him." And when Pilate saw that he was getting nowhere, but that instead an uproar was starting, he took water and washed his hands in front of the whole crowd. "And I am innocent of this man's blood," he said. "It is your responsibility." And all the people answered, and it's kind of incredible prophetically, so to speak, "His blood is on us and on our children." And here's the part where I want to focus on. So he released Barabbas to them, and he had Jesus flogged and then handed him over to be crucified. He had Jesus flogged. That is this Roman ritual of torture, really, to take somebody all the way up to the point of death, and actually to death at some point in time. And it was kind of a sport for the Roman centurion groups. But it says that the governor's soldiers took Jesus in the praetorium. That's the place where the centurions gathered, and they gathered the whole company of soldiers around him, and they stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on his head. And they put a staff in his right hand, and they knelt in front of him and mocked him. "Hail, King of the Jews," they said. And they spit on him and took the staff and struck him on the head again and again. And they mocked him, and then they took off the robe and put his own clothes on him, and then they led him away to be crucified. And as they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Simon, and they forced him to carry the cross. So in this, we see yet again, this is another part of the price that's being paid, that Jesus actually, he took this. The King of Heaven, the Son of God, the Son of the Most High, takes all of this. He could retaliate, but he doesn't. He knows that the Father has set this up to take our sins into his physical body. And so it says these things that everyone in that era would have known, that Pilate had him flogged. That is, they took rods and they beat him to a pulp, and then took a whip, a cat of nine tails, and whipped him and whipped him and whipped him and whipped him almost to the point of death. His back is just ripped to shreds. And I think the Passion of the Christ actually depicted this so well, so gruesomely, that this is such a horrific, just barbarian kind of ritual that soldiers did to people to put them on display so that other people would not actually commit crimes of this sort. But this is what Jesus endured. It's what he endured for us. And as we look at him, as we look at him with his flesh torn, as we look at him uh, being mocked, as we look at him not even being able to carry his own cross, we can appreciate the love and the sacrifice that Jesus made to be able to buy us back for God. Thanks so much for joining me today. Let's reflect on this today, and we'll pick it up on tomorrow. God bless you.